culture. We just have to find out what that lane is, what that particular spot is, and just run hard.
Dope. It's my first time really being at a car show. The venue that it was that you guys had it at was dope. I love the energy, and I tell you what, we're not used to seeing that, especially on that side of town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything was great.
It was cool.
It was
Fortunately,
yeah. Fortunately,
that plant has a lot of power.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of us together, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
a resource, and there's so many benefits to it, you know. And it, like he said, you don't have to touch the plant. It's just, you know, it can involve you in so many different avenues, you know. It can be clothing, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
besides the medical side of it, it can be one of the strongest fabrics.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about hemp.
Yes.
And hemp is one of the plants that Missouri farmers really benefited from, but I guess before prohibition and stuff like that. And you kind of walked me into one of the first topics that I want to ask you about. Marijuana recreational is on the ballot in the fall. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, just like fellow Zach right here just said, you know, get in where you fit in basically is the motto. It's kind of monopoly. I mean, I can't control it. Nobody can. It's gonna go how it goes, and you just gotta adapt to the situation and figure out your niche and go forward with that. You know what I'm saying? Into that career, and just like you say, run into the ground till you can't no more, and quality and persistence, and you'll get recognized from that. So, I'm all for if it goes either way. If it don't, I'm for if it don't go, but I'm also for if it do go, because it's going to open up jobs and revenue either way. You know what I'm saying? Then also, if they do not go through, when they do go through, hopefully they have a little better, where it makes a little more sense. But, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Look at prohibition and where it came from, and where it went to and how it is, with alcohol. So, it's the same thing with that kind of sorta, and then it's a monopoly too. So.
Any concerns as an entrepreneur in cannabis that the big companies once they get in there, they're gonna really make it difficult for a lot of the startups to be able to maintain themselves?
Yes, it will. And, they're going to try to monopolize and take over the small. I see it in markets, that are legally recreational and medically, whether it be Colorado or out there in Cali. You just look at those, and just vision and see what's going on out there in their markets. And then, what's coming your way,
Right.
kind of, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then just, like I say, get in where you fit in, whether it be, where you doing business with the commercial guys, where you can get your stuff on the shelf, or contracts, whether they're good or bad. It depends on what you notice for and what you're known for. People gonna come your way as long as you stay consistent and find your niche or your lane, and you talented or whatever, that's your passion. Just stay with it, man. Stay with it till you figure it out. But I think it's gonna pass. I really do. I think it will pass. And it's gonna open up other ways where you can benefit, not having a license legally selling it, but you'll be able to have an area to consume it, or something like that,
Right.
to where that's reachable, and you'll still be able to do what you like, or it still contains the same things that you like doing for a living. So
What about you, Zach?
Like how do I feel about the actual like the amendment being
Yeah.
passed? I feel like yes, like Taylor said, it has a strong likelihood of passing, because I just understand business, I understand politics, and they put a lot of money behind their campaign, and that's one thing about it. You got a lot of people, but the bill is heavily skewed to benefit commercial companies that are already licensed. Right, it's not a secret. I think they know that. They probably set it up like that purposely. But it's business. I mean, it's business. Like a real businessman gonna be shrewd and gonna be a savage and be like, "Hey, I want it all.
yeah,
I want it all." Like that's just if you look at any business, any tycoon in oil and Coca-Cola, Pepsi, like them ain't no nice dudes.
nah,
They ain't fair either. Fair to them is what's benefiting them. Right, so when you look at it from a business perspective, they're doing what's expected on the business side of it. Now, is that fair? No, it's not. Has it ever been fair? No, it hasn't. Right, so just to kind of chime in on what Taylor said, like get in where you fit in, it's definitely a way to kind of navigate what's happening, right? But man, it puts a lot of people in a predicament. I mean, me, just like it's a pickle, bro, because they say, okay, they open up a window for small businesses, quote unquote. It's more like a Band-Aid that they can say they're trying to help. But, we all know that the best way to negotiate anything is before it passes. Right. If you wait till after, like, have you ever tried to get a raise? Man. You ever tried to negotiate your salary after you were hired? Or how'd that work out, right?
I used to work for a union, and once it's gone, it's gone. You're not getting it back.
Yeah. So they can say, oh yeah, this is just we could, we start here and we can always, they're gonna start here and we're gonna end here with the same amendment, right? And but still, with that being said, will it create opportunity? Yes, it will. You have to be very creative. Gone are the days where you can just sit back and just try to go for the top 3 because they're snatching it from the table. And then on the small business side of it, they're saying like they'll allot like this lottery for 6 grow facilities, micro grows, micro dispensaries, micro manufacturing. But anytime you say a lottery involved in anything, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You hear something? If you're finna be selected on a lottery, what do you think? Instantly, it's gonna get somehow. It's not gonna be right. It's not gonna be fair, right?
Yeah.
Lotteries can be paid off, bought off, all kind of things.
Yeah.
You can trick lotteries.
Yes.
And that's all I'm saying. So it's not like man. But trust me, man, the powers that be, they know why they did it and they know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of money behind it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So on that standpoint of it, on the business standpoint and the political standpoint, yeah, it'll probably pass.
And my thing is, even if it passes, I think the feeling of marijuana being taboo is gone. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's been so commercialized.
Yeah.
So the experience that I guess people that are looking for it, when they finally get a dispensary, is really not good weed.
No.
It's not. I mean, because if especially if you are a consumer.
Right.
It depends on how they, where they get their weed from or how they grow it. Because, I've been to some with good weed and some without it. So some that grow their own, some that outsource their, products. So it goes both ways, and it really goes up to how you did your thing with your recipe. I feel like, making the right, strategic ways of doing what you do or having your recipe locked in, consistency too.
Oh yeah.
So HPG. What does HPG stand for?
High pressure growers.
Ooh. Pressure.
Yeah.
High pressure, baby.
High pressure.
And who came up with that name?
Man, so originally, man, let's tell the story. Go back. Like originally, it just came 3 letters. So we didn't have a name, and it wasn't even on cannabis. It was a car thing. So we was a car club, car group, gurus, guys come together, talk about a course, do something to them.
Because I got some whips
hang
too.
out, and then also, the cannabis, people take a little puff here and there,
Yeah.
So, and we kind of grew from that. But like I say, it kind of started on the party bus. And that was back in 2019 April, like the beginning of April, like right a little bit before 420.
Yep.
And it was my friend Mike bachelor party, and my friend Eric, he named it out. We was kicking it, having a good time. He was like, man, hey man, this HPG, point blank period. He kept saying it. I'm like, okay, I like the name. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, might as well run with it. You know what I'm saying? Because all the car clubs back then had a name. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, y'all just was on the scene, they had said y'all name. So we kind of grew with that, and, that was the passion. And then, we started growing. And, man, it was just like.
Literally.
Yeah, started growing. A buddy of ours that does the car things as well, he's been growing at that time, he was growing for like 12 years. So nice. I got with him. He gave me a clone. And I started in the corner of my basement with a shop light. And, man, the history, you know what I'm saying? I kept going with it, kept doing my research, going online, straight sitting down. Like, it had everything. It had me focused on that. It was like, man, I got to figure out this. You know what I'm saying? I want to figure out how to do this. So I stayed consistent with that, man. And got me, and then my buddies around me, they was watching, my partners around me, they was watching, they was like, man, this dude straight growing this shit, all right, bet. And then Mike had been growing beforehand, because he was already, that's who the other friend had came from. He was friends of him.
Gotcha.
So it was just one of them things where it was like, man, everybody on board. There was, you know what I'm saying, in my tight little small circle. So
Yeah.
it was just like, all right, this is what we doing. And, man, we sitting there smoking and stuff, and we like, man, how we going to change the name? Because before high pressure growers, it was we came up with a name called Horsepower Generals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the
So,
core stuff. For the core
yeah,
shit,
for
right?
the core
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that's how it really, at the beginning. If you was there, you was there.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is even before Damon and Larry and all that. So, that's really how it kind of began. And we kind of, at the end of 2019, I believe we went and got our medical licenses to where we can cultivate for ourselves. We all got it first go round. And we all went at the same day. We sat down next to each other, went to go see the doctor one after one.
Nice.
It was pretty cool, man. And, it kind of builded a brotherhood. Yep. So, shout out to those that not here, but I'm representing.
For sure.
For sure. So.
Yeah. That is the voice of Taylor Crawford. He is one of the founders of HPG. Across from me is my co-host, founder of Elite Home Growers Academy. By the way, Zach, I keep getting asked all the time, when you have your next class? When you have your next class? I got
Right,
people hit me up about the class, man. So you got any updates on that?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing the next class. It's going to be a physical class because we still building on our online platform. Because like the physical class, it's just to the point where we're just at capacity with like all the stuff we got going on. Like you guys watch us and you just got a lot of stuff going on. So trying to make those physical classes a thing, it's just harder to do, So we're gonna move on to an online platform, but we're gonna do a few more physical classes. It should be one before the end of the year. Let's put it to you that way. Before the end of the year, we should have one. I don't have an exact date, but we might try to squeeze 2 in before the end of the year, just to give people an opportunity. But we feel like it's a lot of like we were serving the beginners market pretty heavily earlier on, but we just feel like we're past that now. I would just say the sentiment in the grower community is like a lot of the growers that's growing now, they don't need the beginning lessons, right? They want to know the more advanced stuff. So we're going to be focusing more of our talent and our curriculum on the advanced stuff, right? But we still going to, because it's always a new grower every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still going to have that information available to the newer growers, but we want to starting to show our advanced methods of that, just to kind of help out these growers on that's going to this next level. Because cultivation is a level thing, man. It's like you learn enough to get you through the first harvest, and you learn a little bit more, then you learn a little bit more. You just keep stacking and stacking and stacking, So those general questions, we answered enough of those, and people they hungry for more, so we want to give them more.
Yeah, and I think that's a great thing. I think it helps serve the community. I think when you're able to help educate them.
For sure.
Yes.
Taylor, back to you. You said something, man. I'm going through my bullet points.
Okay.
Blow the city down.
Oh, yeah.
I got to go back to that.
All right. Yes. Shout out to Legacy Transportation, Ashley
Legacy.
and Mike.
Okay. Legacy Transportation.
Yes.
All right.
And they let us do the blow the city down. Definitely.
They
part of HPG as well. Of course, they members.
I think that's pretty awesome. Just the whole concept, and I think possibly a new wave. If you really think about it, it's like you have somebody responsible driving.
Right. Yes,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And everybody else is consuming. Like a contact buzz is not going to cause you to crash your car. I just think
Right.
a lot of that reefer madness
It was just reefer madness.
been
right?
perpetuated.
Right.
And
right, with the right airflow and
All of that. Yeah.
I mean,
everything.
you'll get a contact, but trust me, you won't crash your car.
Right.
it's a curtain too between.
That's bro. You gotta start that. Yeah, get with HPG if you guys want to blow the city down.
Yes.
Or
just book your own trip.
Book your own trip.
Book your own, party.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope.
May have to take them up on that.
Oh, for sure.
On a couple of that. So on the blow the city down. So you bring your own bud, right? B.O.B. Bring your own bud.
I believe last Blow Your City Down, we had a pre-roll included and an edible, or vice versa. I'm not for sure, but I think it was either one or you get both. If I'm pretty sure.
You guys the next level. You guys they already ahead of the curve.
Oh, they are.
You know, because you think about it.
Seen it.
They're probably doing something like this in cities where it's full rec. I know they're doing something in Denver where, they have social parties where they openly use it and get catered to.
That's
I'm sure
where everything is going for sure.
Yeah.
And they're the first ones to do it.
Man.
First ones to do it, man. Hats off. Shots out, man.
That is dope.
To being the first ones to do it, not, being a trendsetter. I'm glad I'm meeting y'all now before y'all really blow the hell up. Thank you.
Same here. Appreciate you having us.
No doubt about it. You're watching and listening to the In the Zone show at mycitymymusic.com. Palm Alexander, a.k.a. the living legend, K-I-L. One L and kill, but kill still kills. It's not the same with the music, but we'll get back to that one.
Yeah. I miss the music.
Yeah, but we'll get back to that, man. We'll give you the full experience with the music and all that good shit. It's dressed down a little bit.
It still works.
It still works. Works. Yeah, I mean, I don't have all the bells and whistles, but it's still good acapella.
For sure.
I
agree.
I agree with you, as we usually do. On the In the Zone show at mycitymymusic.com, this show is also sponsored by Cafe Piazza, located at 1900 Arsenal. And on the backside of the show, because I've been waiting to talk about this shit. I'm sorry. I've been waiting for the longest since the event ended. Cannawing.
Yeah.
Cannawing 4.
Yes, sir.
And something, like last year, we was really excited about it. Mm-hmm. And, I was at the Missouri Athletic Club.
Right.
Which, listen, it has a lot of character to that building. There's been a lot of historical things happen there.
For sure.
But that church, come on, man.
You can't, nothing compares. For a Halloween event?
Yeah,
nothing compares, bro.
Yeah,
we were definitely disappointed when we couldn't get it for Cannawing 3, but we understood why. That's a good group of guys down there, and they put in their work trying to get things turned around down there. So it just wasn't available. But we made do. Cannawing 3, the atmosphere was good. Yeah. It was good, right? But the church, it's just a different feel. It's just something in the air. Something in the air, man, and just the atmosphere, man, because there's a lot of historic things that's happened at that particular location too, and so we're super excited to have it back there again, man, and people that haven't experienced it, we definitely want them to come out to experience that. It's a beautiful venue. Ran by a great group of people that's doing good things in the community, and they allow us, they opened up their doors and received us and welcomed us, and they didn't even know us from, we're not skateboarders, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are, you know what I'm saying? But they, they were just genuinely good. We're genuinely good, and we made it work, and so we just appreciate the support. But yeah, Cannawing 4 is going to be bananas, man. That's all I can say, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
the last time we did it there, it was over 600 people that came through them doors, bro.
Yeah, and that was my first.
That was Cannawing 2.
Yeah, Cannawing 2. Yeah. And it kind of got a WrestleMania kind of feel to it in a way. It do. And I was at 2, and I just remember walking through that door, and it was like walking into another dimension. I swear.
It was, bro.
And it was just out of body. It was, and that's before I started consuming.
Yeah.
But the whole atmosphere, the way
it grabs you.
It grabs you. It's like a scene out of a movie.
Yeah.
Just all those things, and it was all love. It was all love, and it was still police.
Yeah.
It was a police presence, and it was like it was a great experience. So, listen, I talked to you about having Big Fair perform.
Right.
Having live music, and the DJ last year was fire. The guy MC
same
was
DJ.
fire.
Yeah, we're gonna have the same DJ. Yeah, we rock with.
It's gonna be
Climate.
dope. I know my people at HPG gonna be in the building.
Gotta pull on up, man.
Absolutely, we definitely gonna be there. I was at 3, and a couple other guys was at 1 and 2, I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't make it to 2 or number 1, but man, I heard so many stories.
Yeah.
When I say so many stories, and man, that's something you can't miss out on if you a cannabis smoker. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. B100, like, you can't miss out on it. And I'm like, all right, bet. I made it to 3.
Yeah, man.
And, man, I had good vibes, good energy. Everybody had a costume. It was fun, man. You
Yeah.
just seeing grown up. You was damn near a kid again,
Right,
almost.
The
right.
leprechaun. You, it's a, I mean, yeah, he did the.
Popped out on him.
He popped
boy.
out with the leprechaun,
So,
man. That was hilarious.
Yes.
It was.
And shout out to Chris, DJ.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Chris,
He did
yeah,
his
that's the
thing,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was definitely
Yeah.
top notch and the
Yeah.
experience and a vibe. And it was just, you know what I'm saying? It was, it was a couple different, we couldn't smoke in there, but we definitely could. It was a spot upstairs, I believe, and then it was a spot outside, and I made it to both of them a couple times. So
That was a little creepy upstairs.
it didn't stop
though.
me, man, from a couple steps. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so.
Yeah, and you know what? And I know I bought something from the table just because. You know what I'm saying? It just like.
Man, we did good that night.
Oh
too.
man,
it was
yeah.
pretty
Well,
nice.
you guys were HPG.
Right. Hey, y'all represent every time y'all come out, bro. Y'all
Appreciate it.
y'all come out to the point where people have to notice you.
Yeah,
Man.
And that's how you want it to be. You shouldn't have to be like, especially when you're in the pit and you got your competition at the table right next to you.
Yeah.
Right. You got to be able to pop out a little bit more and just strengthen numbers.
Yeah.
So y'all definitely nailed that one down, bro. You know what I'm
Appreciate it,
saying?
man.
Shouts out to
Thanks,
that, bro.
man. Right
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah, I mean, y'all hella deep, and it's like that unity. And we was on Media Row. We was on the backside, but I mean, when y'all came in, I'm like, oh yeah, they mobbed up.
Yeah, that was deep.
Mobbed
They
up.
came deep. Yeah,
They
that
mobbed
was
up.
deep.
So yeah, like I say, it's about 8 members, and like 4 different households. So you got at least 2 people from each household, and I want to say at the beginning it was 3 households. So, and all of them were kind of couples. So our ladies would make the edibles, and we would be the growers. Sometimes the ladies would come in the lab and get the learning a few things here and there. But you know how we are as men, we don't touch too much.
That's
you know
enough.
what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
enough
But
in here.
if they got a green thumb and stuff like that, we definitely don't mind them helping out. You know what I'm saying? Watering it too, because that stuff is really a job. You know what I'm saying? We don't get enough credit as growers
Man.
to know like what it takes to really get that final finished product and for it to come out consistently every time. It's always gonna be something. It's all, whether it be equipment something or just environmental. Even though it might be indoor, you're still dealing with outdoor climates that's affecting your indoor climate as well. So, and airflow is very essential. So, having that dialed in is everything as a grower. And, you try new things and you try to work on your recipe as a grower and get better with it and critique it, man. And that's one thing that I really like and I experience with other growers, and that strength is in number thing. And it really kind of creates a generational wealth in a village.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So once we can, link together, and I mean, it's competition out here and stuff like that. I was hearing what you were saying as far as that, but I'm really unifying and trying to link up with people just like us. That way, it's a village, and man, once we can, link up and get stronger and stronger, man, it's, you ain't gonna do nothing but, support and see what's going on and know what's going on. Really,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and listen, it's not easy in St. Louis.
No.
We
know what city we live in.
We know what city we live in.
Yeah.
Everybody knows each other to a degree, and sometimes our social circles overlap.
True.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's
It's
bad.
bad. Right, exactly.
You know, and I think I'm hoping too that with where cannabis is going, and with some of the black growers, that maybe help mend some fences, and we say, hey, let's do some business.
Yeah, exactly.
We definitely not making no money going to war.
Right, for sure.
No.
Not at all, man. I really hope that cannabis can effectively become a tool that can be used to bring generations together to work on something, and it's like something bigger than themselves, right? Because man, it's just like it's so much money out here that we're able to use this particular lane to access or to get at least a little bit of help, a platform. Even if you just want to go to school for it and learn more about it on a commercial, professional side, or just do something on the home grow side, but you're still playing a part within this overall game and overall industry. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like cannabis has the power to help unify people. you know, and that's all we can do. Only thing we can do is play our part in that whole thing, right? And hopefully people see that and they play their part, and boom, we just keep growing stronger, better, encouraging each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it come down to.
Definitely. St. Louis is small, and it's so segregated, and then it's so talented.
Big time.
And it's because of, you know, the violence and the crime and all of the BS. But this, like he's saying, this plant is definitely a resource, and it's so many ways that, you know what I'm saying, it can benefit, and it brings people together. I've been at a few events where cousins end up finding out they were cousins through a cousin. Right. Or, you know, when we having events and we ain't never had no riffraff or nobody getting, you know, excited or getting mad, or, you know, it's not like alcohol where it'll raise your temperature and stuff like that. So it kind of relaxes you. Yeah. So it'd be a lot of diversity, and it just be like a mind-blowing thing that you sitting here with all these 600, like he said, 600 people or so, man. St. Louis?
Right.
600, man, it's going to be some BS.
Pop off,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, knowing that, you know, people are focused on the wrong things nowadays, and we want to inspire the generation to be creative, and, you know, it's more to just picking up a gun in life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or just trying to put on you know, do whatever, and nah, man, it's more to life than that, and life is what you make it. So just to inspire and be a revenue, a way out this city, and people to look up to you, you know what I'm saying, it inspires me to keep going every day.
Yeah, you know? Because I think it's so easy to fall into the path of the same old patterns of behavior that leaves you going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, like the harder it is to turn the other cheek, I think that's when you need to do it the most.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not to go too far off the subject, but I think you guys feel me where I'm coming from. When I run to these young brothers today, 17, 18 years old, and they talk so freely about shooting each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Or somebody they shot like the night before.
Yeah.
Like, you know, without a care in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, and like, how do we reach that young man? And they have an interest in cannabis.
They do.
You know, and those are the people that I'm hoping that we're able to reach and pull them off the street.
Yeah.
If we can. You know, give them another outlet, because they only see one side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, their environment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that is the voice of Taylor Crawford, one of the founders of APG. Across from me is my co-host, Zachary Post from Elite Home Growers Academy. And this edition of the Cannabis Corner is sponsored by Cafe Piazza. So, Zach, I'm going to go to you about that melts. How the melts coming along?
How's it coming along?
Yeah.
Man, it's coming along good. We just got an email this morning saying that they're going to be doing a small drop of the pre-rolls. Probably like in a couple of weeks. They're out for testing now, so they should be dropping in dispensaries just a pre-roll. But honestly, like, I definitely want people to have the pre-roll form, but I want people to experience that flower form too. So I encourage everybody to, of course, have a pre-roll if they, you know, catch the drop. But that bigger drop is going to be coming probably like in a month and a half. That's going to be the bigger drop where like, you can get the eighths to actually flower. So things are coming along good, man. We're packaging, processing now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things, bro. Like, this is what we did it for.
Yes.
You know, and so to be at this point, it's like it's surreal in one breath, but it's a lot of work in another, you know. So, but things are coming along on track. I'm super excited. The team's super excited. Man. So, but the melts is gonna be something for sure.
Because I see the build up for it. Obviously, there's a lot of reason to be excited, about that. And this is for the both of you guys. As growers, do you feel pressure to grow faster because there's so much more out there now for people to choose from, or do you mess with that formula just to get it done faster? You know, do you cut corners, or you go? No?
Okay. Sometimes, like, you can't trick the plant, bro.
Nah.
It's some things that you can do to buy you some time to speed up a few different things, right? Changing your life cycles, things of that nature. But when it comes to like can you really get a jump on how this plant gonna organically grow? No, you can't, man. If it's like if the plant take 2 months of flower, it ain't no way you can speed that up. You just gotta wait 2 months, right?
Unless you going from like soil to like hydroponics.
Hydro.
So that's where you kind of you lose out on that taste a little bit, I would say, from the soil, and you gain a little bit on like the timing. But if you know what you're doing, you're an experienced hydro grower. You kind of know how to pull those things out. But I would say the best product, would say is coming from that organic soil or living soil, but it takes a little more time. So,
yes, sir.
But I wouldn't shortcut anything, I would continue to do, if anything, I might try something new, maybe, but it's one of those things where I ain't looking to cut corners, because when you cut corners, or it's just like with equipment, if you cut corners on your equipment, you can't expect a top quality product from a low grade Amazon product, you know what I'm saying? Like Chinese, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Real. That's real.
So another question I want to ask you guys, because you guys are experienced in this field, is when, let's say, not farmers but agents out in California, they cut plants and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Those plants that grow out there in the forest and whatnot, would those plants be better for consumption than what would be maybe cared for by in a house, in a grow house? Or
are you saying like indoor versus
yeah,
outdoor?
Yeah, if it just grows outdoor all year round, like in some parts of California, people grow outside.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Humboldt, yes.
Okay.
Yep, they definitely grow outside. Now what was the?
I mean, does it affect the potency of it, or?
Oh, okay. Man, so the sun, it's energy. Ain't nothing better than that sun, the light. You know what I'm saying, the light source. Now, if they get bad weather and stuff, now they can't, they can try to cover the plant up and stuff from bud rot and stuff like that, but that sun is gonna be the best lighting, hands down. So, but as far as indoor, outdoor, you can tell a difference. It's
sure can.
It's a genetics, it's more prone to the elements, so you're gonna get a little rougher. It's gonna be a little rougher than sort of that indoor kind of thing. And
get beat up a little bit.
Yeah, get beat up, or just might get some seeds, or it's a lot of things. I never done an outdoor grow, that's why I can't elaborate too much on it. I didn't heard stories, and this one guy was encouraging me to do some outdoor growing, and he was like, man, I should have seeded up, but I got 2 pounds and I pressed it out, you know what I'm saying? Right. So he was still able to use that plant, resource that plant and make, something off of it, even though it didn't go the way he wanted to. So that's kind of how it goes outside, though.
Because I've heard farmers, even in Missouri, would still grow the crop to supplement their income. They would grow corn, mm-hmm. and they would grow marijuana in the middle of the corn. Mm-hmm. And of course, the judge and those, the prosecutor attorney, they knew about it. They had to get some kind of stipend out of it. Right. So they've been doing that stuff for ages, for a long time. So I'm just kind of wondering, you guys could probably be able to tell if it'd be more potent, from outside.
I would say it's kind of
inside.
like, because I've grown, like, I've done an experiment with that where I've grown the same exact strains from clones, indoor and outdoor. And it's something, man, that sun-kissed marijuana, bro. Like, it's different. Like, it smelled different. The same exact strains. It was Gelato 41, and it was, we had this Lemon Larry OG. Was a beast, would grow crazy. But the way that it tastes, like, the terpenes were just totally different. Like, both of it was good indoor, but it was just, the flavor was just better outdoor. The high was more intense, but it's still like you can still pull that all out of indoor, but it's just you got certain things that you can't get indoor, and that sun being the number one thing. And I really feel like it's not just the sun, but all of the environment, all environmentals, right, plays a part somehow in the chemical balance of the atmosphere to bring out all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I think it's something with it. It's something with it. But every strain is not an outdoor strain. Every strain is not an indoor strain.
Right.
You know, so can you grow? You can get fire both ways. You definitely can get super high potent cannabis both ways. Mainly to come down to your genetics. But other than that, yeah, I personally feel like outdoor cannabis grown properly has better flavor.
Now, with us being in Missouri, pretty much middle of America, and I want your opinion, both you guys' opinion on it.
Yeah.
I think Missouri probably can grow probably the best marijuana in the country. You figure we got the best water. It's flat.
Right.
And even with the summer being as hot as it is, there's never really long droughts.
True.
True. You know, you look at Eckerd's Farms and you look how fast they can be able to start a crop, right? By April and harvest it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they can probably do the same thing with
cannabis.
Yeah, they can probably
we got good soil, halfway decent soil. Yeah. So,
could you see that as a possibility as Missouri probably having the best
ranking like California or something?
Yeah,
like, man, that's probably never gonna happen.
Yep.
Like just because California hands down that environment is different, man. It is different. It just feels different. Like we got a lot of humid here. We got a lot of sketchy, like cold, rain, high.
Yeah.
Like that planet just gets squirrely on you. Like now, can we like? But you will have people that produce super high grade cannabis here in Missouri. You got them now. You know, I consider myself one of them, right? You know what I'm saying? But when it come like on I would say when you can just okay, if you take two growers, you give them a handful of seeds, some in California, some here in Missouri, they throw them out, don't really take care of them. I think it may grow better in California than it will here. Just like organically, just naturally, just like boom, just here to see what it's gonna do. I feel like California may outrank, Missouri. You know,
I believe the same thing as well because, like he said, the elements. The plant doesn't like too much of a degree change. In St. Louis, we might get a swing, and that's gonna stress the plant out and seed it up and stuff like that. So that consistency, and then with the like he said, it don't be dry, but then we get flooding and stuff like that can cause bud rot. So on that type of scenario, I would say the best way, like if you want that sun and stuff like that. I would say like a greenhouse probably be the best bet because you're still able to get that sun, and then you're able to control the environment a little bit. Saying with that humidity and that temperature swing.
Speaking of the sun, does solar power also play solar energy? Does that play a role also in growing, or how do you guys learn how to harness that?
I think it's going to become one. It just takes a lot of solar panels to power anything, So like say with these grow facilities, like I did a little experiment on like how much, based on the wattage that I use to grow, how many solar power like screens or whatever I would need to produce like only for my grow, and it was a decent amount. Like it wasn't like something easy where I just throw one screen up and boom, I'm good. It was like, no, you got to be really committed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel like as they dial in the technology with the solar panels and things of that nature, we will get there because man, we use a lot of power, man. Like growing cannabis indoors can potentially destroy the world. Like think about it. I was talking to my cultivation director at work, and he was like, just think about all the power that we use and energy that we're replacing a food crop. Like say if you were growing tomatoes that people can actually eat. Now you're growing cannabis that people can't eat, but now you're replacing all those tomato shops and all the stuff that people can eat to grow a product that people can't eat. Now you're kind of like you're increasing starvation or food shortages faster.
Right.
The energy that's needed, the power that's needed, man, it takes a lot of power to grow to make these grows happen.
Absolutely.
So the carbon footprint for indoor cannabis cultivation is not the best for Mother Earth. So I think eventually it'll become that's going to become a thing. So having things like solar panels may be another way to kind of balance that out.
Yes.
But yeah, man, and we're just at the beginning of this, bro.
Right.
We just at the not even half of people that okay, you got a lot of people that's growing now. Just imagine 10 years from now, though.
Absolutely.
Like how much power is going to be required?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of power, but I will say like a benefit to it, like if we do use it to process it and use it in ways that it strengthens its resources, like we can figure out not to cut down trees, and you know what I'm saying, and we can use the hemp that'll kind of, I think it'll
Gonna help
balance it. Yeah. So we just gotta balance it out, I believe.
We got a few minutes. I did want to talk about hemp. Hemp was one of the biggest crops in Missouri. Hemp is making a big comeback. I saw a house online made out of hemp. It was amazing.
Nice. I got
what they
check
can
that
do
out.
with hemp, and if you see, I guess, a shift to using more hemp products as a grower, that's even more helpful to you as well, because you're able to use the flower for more than just all kind of different things, not just for just consumption from smoking and other things.
Yep. So you eliminate the waste, so you become efficient. You know what I'm saying? Efficiency is part of technology, if you ask me.
Vital.
Yeah,
it's vital, man.
Absolutely. So, it goes hand in hand. We benefit from it, then we got to figure out the way to eliminate a problem that might occur. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, the power issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I did hear about the U.S. Navy, their ropes, the ropes that they use on the ships, 80% are made with hemp.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's a lot.
It's a strong. It makes strong fabric for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we use this product, man, the beginning of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like George Washington, all of them had hemp clothing on. Yeah. Now it was I ain't gonna get too much into it, but it's a powerful plant, and we could have been hemp clothing and all that, but they still had cotton or whatever, but because of the texture, but it was so much power into it, and I feel like it was gonna reverse some things that they were trying to do back then,
right?
And that's why it was it was eliminated.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's everything that's done. It's done for a reason, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of regular dudes that got interest in other things. They can say, hey, my interest over here is in cotton because I got investors over here. The whoop, the whoop. The farmer's my cousin. I mean, they was like, all right, well, you know what? Hemp is bad because actually it's going to replace cotton. We'll never need cotton if we got hemp. So, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
right.
That's just, man, we got to look at it. Like, if you have political influence and, like, it had a direct blow on you or it could, you would just switch it up because you could. That's what happened centuries ago. And we're trying to get through that now. Trying to fight through that now.
You never lied, man. I mean, I just thought about what if you was a coal miner, right? I mean, coal is being phased out. Nobody's using that shit anymore. So that's a great example. All right, guys, we're about to run out of time. I want to thank my guest, Taylor Crawford from HPG. Thank you so much for being in the studio, brother.
Thank you too much.
And listen, we'll definitely be in touch, and I got a few more things to talk with you about off the air.
Oh, definitely. Might have to have a little session or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We will. Hey, Zach, tell our listeners, our viewers, where they can be able to find you at.
All right. Yeah, you can find us at Elite Home Growers. Yes, at Elite Home Growers. That's on Instagram and Facebook. That's where you can find and follow us and all the stuff that we do. Keep up with us. That'll be great if you can.
All right. Hey, guys, I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching. I want to thank our sponsor at Cafe Piazza. They've been with the network going on 2 years strong. And as we are, just keep moving on into our next adventure, our next episode, make sure you follow me at The Legend KIL. One L and kill, but kills still kills. I want to thank Doc for keeping everything in check as he always does. Justin, my man Byron. Tomorrow night, make sure you catch Will Freeman and Josh Price on that football. Until next time, we're going city to city, state to state, worldwide. You're listening to In the Zone, and this is the network.
That's really what it's about, man. Like, these opportunities